Okay, so we finished our landing, and now we're going to finish off our last few stairs to the top of the upper hall. We've taken our last piece of carpet, which comes with the roll that you purchased. We straight edged off the edge of the bottom, right? Because you want to start off straight. You're going to line this up the same way you did before. Now this is called a quarter turn. Okay? Where the lines, if you have a designed carpet, that like a linear carpet like the herringbone, where the herringbone follows the contour down the stairs, then when you get into a left or a right hand turn, the pattern turns as well. So now the stairs flow down, and then this quarter turns to go down that way. Now this is where people get confused and say, why are my lines not the same as the lines on my other stair? This is a normal thing called quarter turn. Now, if you mitered this carpet, you would keep the lines straight, but we do not miter because it will fray. Now, then you say, Keith, why don't you turn the carpet this way so that the lines match up? Now, we can do that special for you if you like. It is not guaranteed or warranted or recommended by the manufacturer, okay, which is Anderson Tuftex, which is Shaw, because carpet has a direction and carpet has a flow. This carpet is like water and it flows downstairs. This is what makes it, the wear and tear on it, work. If you turn it sideways, now it starts being split this way. You see this? And this is where it'll just wear out. So, this is recommended from the manufacturer that you quarter turn like this. And that's what we're going to do. So, without further ado, let's go. Okay? Line that up. Okay? We'll put some glue in there later. Wiggle. Staple. If you've been following along, we're going to go quick. Now, line up your other end. Push down. Wiggle. Lock it in. Okay? We're going to take our stair tool. Groove this really nice. Tap it down. And then we're going to put a few staples between the lines. Okay? Use more if you need more. Now, time for the first stair. Let's get that nose creased underneath, okay? Let's get up under on a 45-degree angle. Now, you can see when people are walking up the stairs, this is really important. You can see this here. So make sure that this groove is 90 degrees. That looks really good, okay? Okay, first one done. Okay, so we've got our stair runner on. This time we're using a piece of carpet as our spacer. Okay, now this doesn't have a stringer, it's just the wall. So we're just going to put it against the wall, and we're going to go up the second stair here. We'll throw the spacer there. We'll keep it in line. All is good. So, let's get some pressure on our kicker. If you've been following along, it's the same thing. We're all locked in. Let's groove this, score this, crease this a little to make it easier for the staples to hold. Right? So, we got our electric gun. Pressure, we can do the middle. We're lined up over here. We can lock it into place. Okay? Angle. Now, this is the method if you're not stapling the sides. Okay? If you're stapling the sides, it's a little bit different method. Okay, pressure, get this bubble out. Done. Okay, take your tucker. Beautiful. We had a little fluff there. I just cut it off with a pair of scissors. We are going to grab our staples. These are 9/16. Okay, moving on. All right, let's get this in there tight. Groove it down, up on a 45. Double tap on the end. Every inch or so. All right, make sure she's creased. Use your tucker underneath to crease that, right? Okay, we're going to cut our riser off so we can fit it after. Okay, this one's a little small. We're going to get our spacer. We're going to put it up top. We're going to take our kicker. pressure. Now, because this is our last one, we are going to go up and down as straight as we can. Pressure, okay, and not so many, right? Just enough to hold into position so that we can make our final cut here, okay? We're going to crease this until we get a beautiful crease. And we're going to take our knife from the binding, from this side of the binding, above the staples. That's why we went straight up and down, right? Now we're going to take a pair of scissors so we don't cut our backer board, and we're just going to cut that through. Okay? Then we'll pop a staple on the end and anywhere else that needs it. Okay, take your tucker. Blow the fluff out of there. Now you're on to your riser. Okay, so let's concentrate on our riser, right? This is how you finish off your staircase so it looks fabulous, right? You're going to use the piece that you cut off, your extra piece, right, that has the finished sides and the finished top. And you want your finished top to be underneath, right? But in order to do that, you got to know what this distance is here. Let's find a tape measure hiding underneath me. And now I'm going to measure from underneath down to the carpet. On this side, looks like I have 5 3/4. I'm going to do the same thing over here. 5 3/4. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my riser and I'm going to measure from one end. I said 5 3/4. I'm going to add a little bit. I'm going to make a 5 7/8. I'm going to make a pencil mark. I'm going to make this side 5 7/8. I'd rather have extra and have to cut it off than not and be short. Then I'm going to line those up with a straight edge. I'm going to pencil it out. Okay. Now, I'm going to take a pair of scissors or shears. I'm going to cut, not on this side, I'm going to cut on this side. This gives me even more, because I'm going to squeeze that thing in there. I want it to be tight. I don't want it to have a gap. So we've got the 7/8 rather than the 3/4. And then we're going to get a little bit of an 1/8 here, 1/16 here, right? It's a lot easier to cut off than to be short. I mean, okay, let's put that in there. We're going to squeeze down, line up all the particulars. Look at that. Nice and snug. Okay. Groove that in there. Remember, we're going to put some hot melt glue wherever we're making a connection here. Okay. That way that keeps that from fraying. Now, wiggle. Split the pile. You don't want indentations. See, I just push it back. Hide the staple behind. Rub those out. That's it. That's it, that's it. Wow. Amazing. Looks fantastic. That was Anderson Tuftex muslin that'll be available on the website. You got to see all the techniques on how to install a DIY stair runner yourself. All the tools that I used are in the, there's a link in the description below. Also, there's a link to our Stair Runner Pro Hub where you can become a member absolutely free. This is for contractors, designers, DIYers, and installers, and it's a networking place. So there'll be how-tos on there. People will be sharing ideas. If someone needs an installer in a certain area, you can do a shout out and maybe find someone in your area to do a Stair Runner install or a full staircase carpet install. With every Stair Runner purchase, we take $10 and we donate it to Dogs in Need, to animal rescue charities around the globe. One of our charities is Save a Sato in Puerto Rico. I've actually personally rescued a dog off the beaches of Puerto Rico, and I found them, and they helped me with, the dog's name was Flacco. He was amazing. I'm Shannon with Direct Carpet. We'll see you on the next one.